When someone dies young, their friends and family will tell you what a wonderful person they were, how they deserve the chance to live out their life as much as anyone else you can name. Noelle Paquette, 27 years old, from Sarnia, Ontario, was one such person. And that's not just sentimentality speaking. She was a kindergarten teacher, a profession her best friend says was perfect for her. She was determined to make her students' lives better. When she encountered a child in need, she brought them lunch, sometimes even clothes, shoes, school supplies. She didn't do any of that to make a name for herself. She did it because she was just a good person. The world needs more Noelle Paquettes, good people, but unfortunately, it's far too precious a commodity. The accused in this tragedy, 31-year-old Tanya Bogdanovich, 19-year-old Michael McGregor, charged with first-degree murder of Noelle Paquette. Arrested at a hotel in London after a search party discovered Noelle's body in a woodlot the day before. These were both members of a website known as FetLife, an online community for the most perverse sexual fetishists. Both admitted feeling excited at the idea of rape and violence, crossing the line from fantasy to the worst kind of depravity. Their online world, a personal gallery of perverse pictures, acting out scenarios of violent rape, and much more. Their fantasies to do it for real. And now it appears they may have done just that on an innocent victim, Noelle Paquette. Does any of this sound familiar to you? A person obsessed with violent sex going on to act out a fantasy to kill another human being. A person who dominated the headlines for weeks afterward. If you don't know who I'm talking about, here's a hint. He was named Newsmaker of the Year in Canada for 2012. Don't be surprised if Bogdanovich and McGregor just wanted to make the news. So it's time for some Canadian common sense. Luca Magnotta, the man accused of murdering, dismembering, and cannibalizing Concordia University student John Lynn in May of last year, and then mailing parts of his body all over the country. He was back in court yesterday as lawyers for the defense and Crown were ironing out details of his preliminary hearing. In December, editors from across our country voted to name Magnotta the year's top newsmaker. For better or worse, but mostly worse. It's not a requirement that the winner of the survey be anyone uplifting or inspiring, but Canadians were outraged that someone as vile as Magnotta could win over the likes of Amanda Todd, the BC teen whose suicide sparked a badly needed national conversation on how to combat cyberbullying. Even Heritage Minister James Moore had something to say about this. Newsmaker of the Year ought not simply be the person with the most Google News hits due to morbid curiosity. Revisit the criteria. Hashtag 2 cents. Thankfully, Noelle Paquette's friends and family are working to make sure that doesn't happen in her name. They've set up a website, noellsgift.ca. It's a fundraising drive for clothes and supplies for needy kids in Lambton County. That's the London area. They want her and everything she did for students to capture Canadians' attention, not the twisted minds of criminals. On this show, when it comes to crime, we're committed to putting victims first. Noelle's loved ones couldn't be doing a better job, and for that we salute them and keep our thoughts and prayers with them. If she inspires a nationwide movement to make the lives of needy children in the London and Sarnia area just a little bit better every day, and she has that potential, she would absolutely be deserving. She would be deserving of Newsmaker of the Year. Now, why didn't it turn out that way for John Lynn? What do we really know about him? We know he loved Canada, especially his adopted hometown of Montreal. We know he was studying engineering and computer science at Concordia. A friend of his said he was sweet, never complained, and smiled all the time. But try typing John Lynn's name into Google. Search it, John Lynn. The very first hit you'll get is the Wikipedia page for Luca Magnotta. Not all high-profile crime stories turn out that way, but too many of them do. Whose name do you recognize first? Jessica Lloyd or Russell Williams? Leslie Mahaffey or Carla Homolka? Brenda Ann Wolfe or Robert Picton? Daryl Johnsrud or Clifford Olson? I think you get the picture. It's important to pay attention to criminals at first. That's how we know if there's something in the system to blame for their crimes, something for which we can demand change. But when they become more famous than their victims, we have gone too far. So here's the change I'm demanding. From now on, let's keep our minds on the victims. Let's not let the people who destroyed their lives get the attention they, the murderers, crave. Let's not give them, the murderers, a reason to be copycats. Tonight, let's focus on the woman whose family and friends are using a sunflower to symbolize her life. Perfect for the warm and happy person she was. Visit noellsgift.ca. Donate to help needy children. That's what she would do. And her legacy is worth carrying on. And that's Canadian common sense.